Family, how y'all doing? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? It's 8:20. Sorry, I'm a little bit late, but the simple fact is that we're trying to figure out how to get this new channel up and running. Can y'all hear me? Press one if you can hear me, cause I you see I got my new mic. I'm going big time now. I need y'all to press one. Let me see. Let me see who in the chat. Press one if you hear me. All right, family. This is a test, baby. This is a test. Y'all gotta work with me, man. Y'all gotta work with me, sisters. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take it to another level. And what I mean by take it to another level, sometimes we got to get out of our comfort zone of talking about the things as it relates to scripture and scripture only. What I mean to say is we got to understand how scripture relates in today's world, how philosophy relates in today's world. For example, with the brother that did not stand up for the anthem, for the national anthem, you know, what do the Moors feel about that? That is a question that I have yet to see addressed on YouTube. Now I may have missed it. I don't know. But if somebody have seen it addressed, then hey, point me to it. But I haven't seen it addressed. In a few minutes, a couple brothers is going to come on. They're going to come on and we're going to discuss that. The second thing we're going to discuss is where do Moors stand as it relates to the voting thing? When we're talking about Hillary and we're talking about Trump, where do the Moors stand? What are the issues? What are we going to do come November when the voting things happen? What are we going to do? Huh? What are we going to do? You going to vote or you ain't going to vote? What are you going to do? See, we have to discuss these things. Then we're going to discuss, woo, this is my topic, entertainment. We're going to discuss Chris Brown, man. Chris Brown, man. What's up with Chris Brown, man? What's up with Chris Brown, man? First and foremost, I rise giving praise to Allah. I give it honor to his prophet, Noble Ali. Back to it. What's up with Chris Brown, man? Chris Brown has lost his mind. Chris Brown don't like this lifestyle that entertainment has provided him, obviously. He has put himself in another predicament. Woo! My first topic. Let's listen to this real quick. Hold on. I want y'all to listen to this for 1 second, and then I want to express something to you. See if you know what this is. I'm going to ask you to press one if you know what this is. And where is that band who so vauntly swore that the havoc of war and the battles of confusion and a home and a country shall leave us no more. The blood has washed out the foul footsteps pollution. No refuge could save the hireling or the slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. Listen to this. The blood has washed out their foul footsteps pollution. No refuge could save the hireling or the slave from the terror of the flight or gloom of the grave. Now we're going to interact real quick while we're waiting on the brothers to come in. Who know what that is? Press one if you know what that is. If you don't, just press two because we're going to discuss it regardless. Do you know what that is? Do you know what I just read? Do anybody know what I just read? Star Spangled Banner, Randall, that's right. That's right. That's right. Wicked Cricket, that's what they all say, my brother, but it's all good. Star Spangled Banner, exactly. That's the third verse. And the third verse of the Star Spangled Banner is basically, let's say it one more time. Their blood has washed out their foul footsteps pollution. No refuge could save the hireling or the slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. They're talking about killing people. They're talking about killing people, and they talk about what our forefathers were slaves. What am I saying? What am I saying? Because the brother didn't stand up. Was he not standing up for the flag, or was he not standing up for the national anthem that is predicated on of pushing the death to those who were slaves? Here we go. White supremacy at its finest. White supremacy at its finest. They talk about the first verse. They sing the first verse. Now let me tell you this. We talk about all of these entertainers. We talk about when they sing in the national, they think it's an honor. They think it's an honor. But they only sung the first verse. What's up, Diggy Ali? They only sung the first verse. What about the third verse? What about the third verse? So, is it right for the brother say, you know what? I'm not standing up for the national anthem. I'm not with that. You know, see, the question needs to be asked, did he stand up for did he sit down for the national anthem, or did he sit down for the flag? See, me as a Moorish American Muslim, I got the flag in the background. Why do I have the flag in the background? Wait till the brothers come on here, because I like conversations like this, because we might not all agree the same on these topics, and we might just, oh no, Ali's men, we don't miss a beat when it comes to information. But here we go. Here we go. I got the flag behind me. I got the flag behind me, right? So this flag behind me means I stand behind the flag, right? That's what one would say. What we stand behind is the principles of the flag. No matter who defiled them, the principles is the principles. The principles. What is the ancient name of America? You know what that is, but hold up, brother. Let me hold my thought. The principles is the principle. We stand behind the principle. And then what we also stand behind is the thousands and thousands upon thousands that died to keep that flag raised. More of our people that have not even been accounted for fought against the South to keep that flag raised. Man, this is our flag, man. We don't care how much they try to defile it. We don't care how many people misrepresent it. When we start to shed blood to keep it raised, it's our flag, man. They did a whole bunch of things under a lie and misrepresentation. But once our ancestors begin to die to keep this flag raised, begin to die to keep us, I hate to say the word free, because we're really not free, but what I'm saying is we're not under a foreign government occupation at this time, shall I say? And many of our people died for this. Many of our people, I'm talking about thousands upon thousands. Not even mentioned. You don't think they put them slaves on the front line? Remember back in the day, them Europeans, man, them Europeans was something. They used to have them guns, right? I think they used to call them bayonets. Yeah, they call it. See, I'm nice, man. I got those little bit English too. Anyway, they had these bayonets, right? They had the Jews with the knife on them. And they would run into war like, and stab each other and kill each other. Front line knew they was going to die, man. Look at some of them war flicks. You don't think they put us on the front line to take them knives? We took them knives. And then when we took them knives, they came from the rear and cleaned up. That's how they was winning them wars, man. Our forefathers was dying under this flag. Our forefathers was dying under this flag. So, will I stand for the flag? My ear itch a little bit. Don't worry about that. And will I stand for the flag? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But now, will I stand for those who defiled the flags? No, sir. No, sir. I don't stand for that. I don't stand for anybody that has defiled something. But the principles I will stand for. I know that the red represented in that flag come from symbolically of Lower Egypt, or the white come from Upper Egypt, and the blue, it stands for the Blue Nile. See, I know this. Now I might have it a little bit mixed up. It could be in reverse, but don't get me wrong. This is how I do. I'm not your neighborhood scholar. I just know a little bit about a lot. That's it. I'm not your neighborhood scholar. I know a little bit about a lot. What I'm saying is that these colors was originally our colors. That's why when you look at the British flag, they got the same colors. They understand the power of these colors. See, when we get to the point where we begin to understand the power of colors, then we wouldn't even name ourselves for colors. Black according to science means death. Here we go. All of these things are symbolic. Let's deal with colors real quick, and then we're going to go back to the flag, talk about Kaepernick. When you go into an institution, it could be an insane asylum. The walls are a certain color. The reason why the walls are a certain color is because those walls, that color shapes your mood. When you go into a prison, the walls are green, blue, or off yellowish white. It shapes your mood. No different than a red, white, and blue. There is something about these colors that Europeans use them to shape something. And when we allow them to take these things that we created, we understood the sciences of colors. And they took it and used it for themselves. And now we talk about, man, I burn the flag, burn the flag. Okay, cool, okay. What about your people that stood on the front line? You ever thought about that we can unite and we can put a real representative for us in one of these positions? Then I'm talking about Operation Proclamation. I'm talking about put a real representative in position to affect real change. You know, to affect real change. I'm not talking about somebody's already in position and you say, well, I'm voting for this one. I'm talking about one that you say, you know what? I like this guy. I like this guy. You know what? Let's shape this guy. Let's get 2,000 people where it only take 500 people to put him in office or 1,500 put him in office. Let's get 2,000 people. All of us meet at the poll and put this brother or sister in office. Then we can begin to affect change. Then we can own the flag again. And then when we get on top, if we want to change it, we change it. But until then, our ancestors died under this flag. And so there's nowhere in the world I would not stand for the national anthem, but I still have to honor the flag in which my forefathers died under. Period, point blank. Period, point blank. I can't see me letting my ancestors die in vain. You know, I can't see. Now, when the brothers come in the chat, I'm going to bounce back to that. Let's talk about Chris Brown real quick. What's up with Chris Brown? What's up with Chris Brown? Let me check on the brother. Chris Brown then jumped out the window. Why don't we learn from our mistakes, people? I would tell my story, but I'm going to sell a book. And if I tell you, I got to step to you. So I ain't going to tell my whole story yet. But why do Chris Brown jump out the window? We know without a doubt or contradiction that this European definitely embellished a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. We know that she embellished a little bit. Yet, why do we continue to put ourselves in these positions? Listen, man, when we come into a little bit of money, what happens to the female that was a part of our community when we were coming up? Why is it so hard to reach back to our people? Let me see what they talked about. Okay, reset the story for those of us. Oh, okay. Let me tell you. Okay, listen. Chris Brown has this party, right? And now in this party, you know how they do in Hollywood or wherever he lives. He has this party. And in this party, they got all these people in this party. So the girl supposedly, this is the story. I wouldn't know. I don't know. This girl supposedly, they got all this jewelry around. So the girl supposedly, she touches on the watch. And as she touch on the watch, this diamond encrusted watch, somebody's like, get up off the watch, what you doing? She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's what she said. I'm sorry. So the dude, the big guy, she said a big guy with the dreads was the one that said that. Chris Brown comes out with the thing that go bang, bang. Get up out my house. Come on, man. And chases her up out the house. Something like that now. Now, I could be messing it up a little bit. I don't know. My point of the matter is, regardless of how it happened, why would you put yourself in this position? It's a proven fact that Europeans do things a little bit different than us. It's not a racist statement. It is what it is. Comedians joke about it all the time. Europeans do things different than us. So if I was in your house and you got jewelry on the table, or if a sister from round way, you got jewelry on the table, sister ain't touching that. She already know. She be like, oh, that's nice. Girl, you see that? She be like, girl, you see that? Girl, that's nice. You see that? But she ain't touching that. There go to your pant. Here she go. Oh, my. Look at that. Girl, what are you doing? Boom. Everything go crazy. Now Chris Brown out on $250,000 bail. When he didn't learn from the first time, man, leave them folk alone. I try to tell the young boy. I try to tell young boys all the time, man, you don't know what you're getting into. Leave them folk alone. Man, all of these sisters out here, man, I'm telling you, I love a beautiful sister, all shades and all hues, but you got to be a sister. I'm sorry. You know, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches, now this is the teaching of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. A lot of people would say that, well, do the Moors believe in this and Lord believe in that? Now I'm going to tell you what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali say. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali say, we do not desire to amalgamate or mix with the pale-skinned nation of Europe. That's not a racial statement. Listen, I was on the phone today with my brother Sharif, and I was in a 7-Eleven, and this 7-Eleven that I go to, these Pakistanians, they will not let me pay for nothing. They know me that well. They will not, and then I you know, we do business together, you know, whether it's housing, construction, whatever. Anyway, they will not let me pay for anything. But I will put $1 to a donut on it. They ain't gonna let me talk to their daughter. Not that I would want to. And those are Asiatics. But they're not going for it. They're not going for it. And even the daughters are going to be nice. But man, they got something to build as a community and as a nation. Like we gonna break bread and everything. But let me tell you something. The buck stops when you try to interrupt the development and the progress of their nation as it relates to them being here in the United States. You know, you feel me? The buck stops. The buck stops right there. You cannot even attempt to try to change something that's already is. See, from a young age, there's something that's put into people. You know, there's something that put into people that makes them think that they're superior over you. I was reading a story today how this sister, she was married to a European, and he would use racial slurs while they were being intimate. Because in his mind, regardless of what vows you have taken, he thinks he's greater than you. It's white supremacy at its finest. Where just because you are in a relationship, with someone outside of your race, that don't mean racism stop. That don't mean white supremacy stop. Take a look at Kanye West, for example. You know, Kanye West looks like a buffoon the way he's sniffing around that European. Man, it looks pathetic half of the time. And like I'm saying to myself, nobody is speaking out about this. Nobody's saying, boy, you look like, I don't like to call names because I think that's elementary and that's real young. But what I'm saying is he looked real crazy half of the time. They had a clip up there on YouTube. On YouTube, the clip was where Kim Kardashian was watching was Beyonce. She was watching Beyonce. Kanye tried to pull her in, and she like, man, get up, man. Man, he looks so pathetic, man. He looks so pathetic. Then I look at Michael Jordan. Man, Michael Jordan looks so pathetic, man. Looks so pathetic. Man, I just don't get it, man, how we continue to set ourselves up. So I'm telling the viewer, you know, man, let's stop setting ourselves up, man. Some people are created in such a way that everything is geared towards influencing them that they're greater than you. That's why you have to raise your children from a young age that they're great. No matter what, see, because they're going to be bombarded. They're going to be bombarded with TV. They're going to be bombarded with music. They're going to be bombarded with books. Even in the school is going to manufacture your child to hate themselves. And it's going to uplift Europeans to believe that they're better than you. How far you? I don't care how long you get along. Oh, my best friend is this. Okay. Give it some time. Give it some time, and you'll start to see the ways of people. You know, you'll start to see the waves of people. And when you start to see the ways of people, it's going to be up to you to make an adjustment. I told my son, I have a son, he in college right now. He in college right now. When he was, I think he was 13. And I said to him, I said, Tariq, be careful. His friend was, I think he was like from Honduras. Big up to my brother from Honduras. I hope he ain't watching because I like him a little bit. But anyway, I'm gonna answer that war already. Give me a minute. Give me 1 minute. Anyway, his friend was from Honduras, but he could pass as European, which in the Moorish Science Temple of America, we know who Asiatics are. And I'll explain that in a minute too. Nevertheless, Asiatics just doesn't relate those who look like they're off the African continent. You know, the diaspora of people spread out throughout the world of our people is very diverse. So that's going to relate to you, War Ready. But hold on. I told him, I say, by the time this young man get 15, he's going to make a decision. And he's going to make a decision whether to be on our side or be on the other side. And I say, the reason why he's going to make a decision, because he's going to weigh his pros and cons. What is the benefits of hanging around us? And what is the benefits of hanging around now? Because he could pass. Until he speaks Spanish, you wouldn't even know that he's ethnic. And I'm just using that as a term of endearment. Anyway, like clockwork, at 15, something, he came back. He lived in upstate New York. He used to come to my house, you know, because he originally from Maryland, but then they moved to upstate New York. So he would come to my house and stay to the summer. You know what I mean? We hang out. Good young man. Anyway, by the time 15 come, he came down. He was 16, if I'm not mistaken. He came from New York with this European. I'm telling you, I was like, what happened to him? I'm asking my son, what happened to him? Not because he was with the European, but his whole mannerisms, his whole demeanor had changed. He was so fun, and I could joke with him, you know, because I'm hyperactive. I'm joking with man. At this point, I'm saying, man, I ain't playing with him. He might call them peoples up on me. Nah, I'm playing. He would call it peoples. But I'm just saying, his whole mannerisms changed. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. But hey, I called it. People begin to take sides. You know what I'm saying? Even biracial children. Biracial children, at some point, they're going to have to lean one way or the other. They're going to have to show loyalty to one side or the other, because that's just how the world is designed. Unfortunately, I didn't design it. It is what it is. I did not design it. I'm just telling you, at some point, just like the brother that didn't stand up for the national anthem, you know what side he chose? Because they say, oh, he had mixed. You know what side he chose when he didn't stand up? You know what side he chose? You know, when you look at Stacey Dash, I don't know if she mixed or not. You know what side she chooses. You know, and it shouldn't be a hate thing or a racist thing because you want to support and uplift your people. I'm doing this video right now for the whole world to see if they decide to. And I have customers, man, that are from diverse backgrounds. I don't have no problems because I respect them as human beings. I don't cheat them. They don't cheat me. We have square deals, period, point blank. But in that same regard, it's the Pakistani for the Pakistani. That's just how they roll. The Korean for the Korean, they'll sell you them blunts, they'll sell you them little cheap nasty cakes, they'll sell you them little sugar juices, they'll sell you cigarettes, they even sell you some blue tops, red tops, and if you're from the block, you know what I'm talking about. But you ain't getting their daughter. You ain't getting their daughter. We the only group of people allow our daughters go anywhere. Check people out. Check people out. Go anywhere you want to in the world. We talk Islam. We talk, oh, I'm Islamic. Man, it's a system. Matter of fact, I would like to interview her and I'm going to ask her. She's an Orthodox Muslim. And she walks past the temple all the time. And I say, well, what mosque do you go to? She said, mosque such and such. I said, why you go all the way over there? It's a mosque right over there. She said, them Pakistanis and those Indians, they treat you a little bit different. They treat you like you below them. That's what she said to me. See, everybody is on their team except for us. I'm going to say it again. Everybody is on their team except for us. Why? Why? When are we going to get on our team? I know I'm rambling a little bit, but that's what Moorish science is all about. Getting us together on our team. When are we going to get on our team? You know, when we look at I don't want to name no groups, but when we look at other groups, Organization for the Uplifting of Fallen Humanity, whoever they may be, or we look at these brothers on YouTube, what team are they really playing for? Are they organizing people? Or do they have a strategy? Do the brothers on those other channels have a strategy to overcome this nonsense? More science do. And I'm the first to tell you that the Moors before me, and when I say before me, before I was born, I don't think they knew what the prophet given them. I really don't. Because if they did knew what the prophet had given them, we will be more along as we will be more far along than where we at. You understand what I'm saying? We will be more far along as we at. So, but The ball, as it was dropped, somebody has to pick it up. Now it's time for us to pick it up. You know, I got my brother Tunica Ill just came in the building, and then they dropped out the building. Well, we're going to see him in a minute. But the ball was dropped. Now it's time to pick it up. Period, point blank. You know. And now we have to get on our own team. And yeah, now this is going to be a commercial, like it or not. If you're from the Baltimore area, here we go, right here. Let me show you something. Right there. If you're from the Baltimore area, come join me at the temple. And let's talk about, we're not going to law you to death. We're not going to talk about these type of things that's far out. We're going to talk about things as it relates to now. You know, as it relates to how do we take over a block? How do we affect transportation? How do we build transportation so our people can get to and back and forth whenever they need to go without catching buses? How do we affect that? Why can't we create a Uber, whatever it is? You know what I'm saying? That's what the Moorish Science Temple, Baltimore, Maryland is all about. You know, why can't we create something where as though when people come in town, we have our own hotel? That's where we at. That's where I'm at. So I'm asking you to come join with me. Because while we keep arguing about what's right, what's wrong, guess what? Everybody moving right along. The Hispanics came here. I remember when they first came. The Hispanics came here. They done moved right along. We still arguing about doctrine. I was talking to a brother today, and he talking about, but we making books. We making tennis shoes. I said, I don't want your tennis shoes, man. I said, I'm trying to find a place where my grandmother or my mother can go to. When she wants to retire and not bother with grass, cutting grass. Because I'm from a place that got grass. She don't want to bother with cooking dinner. She want to press a button and say, bring me a good old salad or something. See, we want to create things like that. You know what I mean? Retirement homes, daycares. That's what we trying to do in the Moorish Science Temple of America, Baltimore, Maryland Temple. Period, point blank. So I'm telling you, we are not about the preachy. They say they like my rant. All right, my bad. Let me answer my brother Raw Ready. Brother Raw Ready. The question was, do we, and you know I can use the term quote unquote black, because we ain't no black people. But anyway, do we date exclusively so-called black people, Asiatics, Moorish Americans? Hold on 1 second. Don't go nowhere. All right, I'm back. Well, according to me, I like all variations of Asiatic. I like all variations of Asiatics, meaning this. If you, first of all, my brother Sharif always points out that man is not the body nor the soul, and that comes from the lessons of our prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Man is not the body nor the soul. But the prophet also says that we do not desire to amalgamate or mix with the pale-skinned nation of Europe, or marry into the families of the pale-skinned nation of Europe, and I'm paraphrasing. Now, because the prophet is saying that, does that make the prophet racist? No. The prophet is saying that we got to play on our own team. We have to play on our own team. That's basically what he's saying. But what do our team consist of? Our team consists of, and now I'm going to pull it up for you. Hold, work with me real quick. I'm gonna tell you what our team consists of. And it's up to you from this point. I'm about to pull it up. Give me a minute. Give me 1 second. I'm about to pull our team up. I'm going to show you what our team consists of real quick. Moorish Quran. I got to pull up my phone. Yeah, technology. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. But the team consists of us. That's what the team consists of. It definitely consists of us. But who is us? Who is us? I'm about to show you who us is. Give me a minute. I'm about to show you who us is in 1 second. There we go, right here. Okay. So who us is, we have people from South America. That's us. People say, whoa, so y'all can marry a Mexican? Brother, they Asiatics. Sister, they Asiatics. How you come up with that? Okay. History of South America. And this pertains to all people in South America, besides those of European descent. And this is how you can tell. First of all, before the European came to South America, the people of Mexico on down to Honduras look like a dark olive brother, a medium olive. They look like a dark olive brothers and sisters, period. So how do they begin to look like they look? See, it's a misnomer when we call them Spanish, because Spanish is a language. That's just like calling the Israelite Hebrew. Hebrew is a language. That's a mistake right there. Or calling them Hispanic. That's incorrect. Mexican, okay, that's cool. But in the real sense, when you call them Spanish, you're making an indication that something happened. Spanish was not their original language. What happened? The people from Spain conquered the whole area of South America. And that's how they begin to speak Spanish and begin to look the way they do. So all of those pictures that you see that look like they're light, it wasn't originally like that. They were conquered. Those are our people. Originally called the Olmecs. You can look that up. But the point of the matter is, those are your people. That's your team. But they don't want to be on our team for some reason, because white supremacy or European domination has controlled their mind also. When you look all the way up north to Alaska, the Eskimos, those are our people who crossed the Bering Strait. When you look to China, those are our people. They don't want to admit it, but it is what it is. Those are our people. And all around the world, we are the dominant culture. We are the dominant, most plentiful people on the face of the earth. But when the European begin to divide, the Chinese is yellow. Follow me now. The Chinese is yellow. The Mexican is brown. The so-called Native American, he's red. European, he's white, quote unquote. And we black. The bottom of the totem pole when it comes to the color code. So with that division, it makes people separate themselves into themselves. So to ask your question, Roy, ready? To ask your question, Man, I gotta keep it. I gotta keep it with a soul sister. And when I say soul sister, that don't mean she got to be super dark olive. No, that don't mean that. That means she got to have some soul about herself. She got to have some soul about herself. She got to love her people to the end, you know. And if that can't happen, then hey. So now look at the point of a biracial. Let's address that. So he said, hold up, more. What if she mixed? What if he mixed? This is me. I'm not speaking for nobody but Tahaka Bay. This is a disclaimer. All you Moors out there, say what you want. I'm speaking for Tahaka Bay. I'm not speaking for the Moorish Science Temple of America, nor am I speaking for any Moorish doctrine when I say this. Speaking just my opinion. When you look at a biracial child, at some point, first of all, the European said the biracial child is already Asiatic. He said one drop. But I don't use that to qualify anything. I can't stand using Europeans to qualify anything. I'll use it for the sake of making an argument sometimes, but to qualify, no. This is my qualification. I grew up in Annapolis, Maryland. You know, later on I moved to Baltimore, Maryland. When I grew up in Annapolis, Maryland, in our neighborhood, there were a few biracial children. And those children, you could tell what side they were choosing. At that time, they were choosing our side because they were being disrespected in such a way that made them feel like us anyway. So they chose our side and they rode with us. But in today's world, where we think, quote unquote, that you can get, quote unquote, white privilege, people choose the other side. But I always say this, give it some time. Give it some time and you'll see the soul will reveal who they truly are. And then you make your decision. The soul reveals. Once the soul reveals, you can't hide the soul from nobody. The prophet said you can't hide it nowhere. When you reveal your soul, you don't even know that you're doing it. But a wise woman or a wise man, they can see you reveal it. And they can tell who you are, even as it relates to your descent nature. If you biracial, they can tell who you are. A wise person can. So with that being said, I say that you have to try to decide what side this person is on. Because in the true sense, whether you like it or not, that's what's going on in this world. That people are choosing to work with their group. I watched in the last 5 years how people in the area called Catonsville from Pakistan, and I speak of Pakistans a lot on this show because I was working with them today, from Pakistan, how they came from Catonsville. I mean, they came from Pakistan, just like the so-called, just like the Mexicans or the people from South America. When they came from Pakistan, they was driving cabs. Remember, Mexicans used to cut grass. They don't cut too much grass in Baltimore no more. Anyway, they were driving cabs. They drove them cabs 2 or 3 years. I started to see after that, they upgraded to getting contracts at BWI. That's Baltimore Washington International Airport. What contracts were they getting? One of my customers was from Pakistan. He got these vans at wholesale. His brother from Pakistan paid for the vans. I remember when he shipped them in. He got the vans from Pakistan. And before you know it, he got a business partner. And while I was repairing his house, they was developing a business plan. And till this day, he was driving a cab and he rented this house that I was working for the owner for to repair. And to this day, this Pakistani, he has 5 vans. And guess what he do? He shuttled people with disabilities from BWI. Why couldn't we think of that? You got cabs everywhere at BWI. His expertise is to shuttle people. What I'm saying, these people work together. They sent money from Pakistan to uplift him and his family, and he hit them back, and they worked hand in hand. But with that being said, I didn't talk too much. I know y'all like my rant. Do y'all like my rant? Hey, do me a favor. If y'all like, I like to talk a little bit. I see my brother Sharif. My brother Sharif May is on. Let me tell you something. Real quick, family. And then I let my brother Sharif, and we'll go in. Today, out of Ali's men, I think me and brother Sharif are the talkers. I think we the talkers. But today we got on the phone. Oh man, I think we was on there for like an hour, 15 minutes, hour and a half. And before you knew it, and I gotta share this, brother Sharif, before you knew it, it was like, whoa. I was packing up from the work I was doing. He was going to do the work that he had to do, whatever the case may be. But I made a statement to the brother. I said, brother, isn't it amazing that we talking all this time and we still getting paid? That was the statement that I made, because the business that I am in and the business that he in, we get paid regardless. And this is what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was teaching the Moors. He taught that there'll be better jobs for our young men and women. How better can that be? I'm talking to my brother getting paid.
That's right.
He said there'll be better economic security. Right. I'm talking to my brother getting paid. I'm secure in my economics. This is what we're talking about. But with that, I'm going to let my brother come to the floor, and then we're going to discuss some of these issues real quick, my brother. Islam, the floor is yours, brother.
Islam, brother, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Islam. I want to rise and give praise to Allah, honors to his Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I want to give honors to all faithful members of the Moorish Science of America. I want to give honors to all of our people, all the Asiatics, the fallen Asiatic sons and daughters of North America, regardless of what you call yourself and regardless of what organization you're in. We've made one hell of a journey to even be talking, living, and breathing in this day and time. So I want to give honors to you all as well. You know, we're all one family, regardless of the things that seem to divide us or that we allow to divide us. I want to give honors to the forerunner, Brother Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. I want to give honors to my brothers, Ali's men. I want to give honors to Moorish World and to our host, Brother Islam, brother man.
Islam, my brother. So what we was talking about was the Kaepernick issue, whether he should stand for the flag, or whether he should stand for the anthem. What was he sitting for? Was he sitting because of the anthem? And we went over the anthem, and then we went over talking about the flag.
Yes, sir.
And my position is that
yes, sir.
I understand not standing for the anthem.
Yes, sir.
But I can't accept not standing for the flag because it's too much blood and too much invested in keeping this flag to fly.
Brother, let me touch on that.
Come on, my brother.
Now, I do understand a lot. You know, our prophet taught us, you know, it's the part of wisdom to hear their impertinence with patience and pity their absurdity. You know, it's like Jesus being quoted as saying in the Bible, you know, forgive them for they know not what they do. You know what I'm saying? So, but my point being, I get it when a lot of our people, don't take stock and do not feel invested in that flag, that Star Spangled Banner. I get it. You know, we're talking about the result of a very solid, heavy campaign by Europeans that's still going on to disenfranchise us. But what makes it even better, right? What makes it even better is that now we do it to ourselves.
Yeah.
But our forefathers And when I'm not going back that far, I'm going back at the close of slavery, 1865. Really, from 1865 to the late 1870s and late 1880s, our people were heavily involved in bettering themselves directly through the political process and improving their conditions that way, which is the American way. So, as you said, brother, we have a stake, as great a stake, if not in some cases greater than a lot of these other national groups to that flag. But we know that. You see what I'm saying? We as Moorish Americans are educated and trained on that matter. You see what I'm saying? A lot of our people don't know that they have an investment in that flag. So I get it, because they don't know that they have that investment. They're like, you know what? Nah, man, I'm going to step on that flag. I'm going to desecrate that flag. When what they're really doing is, in a large sense, stepping on their own birthright, and they don't even know it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. What blows me away is that we don't even consider the lives. Hold up. Stop. Pause. Yeah. We don't even consider the lives that marched on to keep that. Imagine this. If our forefathers that came out of slavery, and some of those fought even in captivity of slavery to keep the flag standing. They don't even mention that. But nevertheless, our forefathers that marched on to keep that flag standing. Imagine if that didn't happen. You know how many, you know what this country would be now? If they say, you know what? We don't want you slaves to fight in any of these wars. We got it. Man, we would be in England somewhere, and this would look just like the Dark Ages, and we'd be full of diseases and rats. Because everything that advanced us in this society came out the mind of an Asiatic.
That's right.
Everything that advanced this society came from us.
That's fact.
And they took the credit for it. So if they would have said, you know what? Y'all stay on the cotton fields. We don't want y'all to fight. Just stay there. And we would be in the Dark Ages.
That's right, brother.
Yes. Yes.
That's right, brother. That's actual fact. I mean, again, like there's a popular video. I may pull it up and show it, but there's a popular video with Glenn Beck on Fox News where he did his piece and literally went into detail about our people that are legitimate and bona fide founding fathers of America.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then to take it a step back further as it relates to the Moorish movement, there's a big reason why it's kept hush, why it's been kept hush, because our forefathers, the Moors who civilized Spain, literally, as the prophet said it in the Moorish God newspaper, we are the literal descendants of the people who literally founded Western civilization. And that is one of the major reasons why they don't want you to know. They're happy when the so-called conscious community says, nah, we not Moors. Man, they breathe a sigh of relief.
You know what amazes me?
Yes,
why is it that, and we just go talk, why is it, I don't get this part. What's so horrible about being a Moorish American? What's so bad about being a Moorish American? I don't get it. Exactly. I really don't get it. And what I'm saying is this: when we look at other groups of people, right, and they have their culture and how proud they are. Like I've taken my sons to like the Greek culture, the Greek festival in East Baltimore, and we'll watch. They do the dance. They do all these little dances. They got their own little instruments. They having a good time.
Right.
We went to the Spanish Spanish festival down there on Broadway. Same thing. They got the sombreros. They doing their thing, having a good time. Big old hats. They having a good time. We go to all these different cultures. I can go on and on and on and on and on. You know, and you know about the Chinese festival, the Year of the Dog, something that. You know what I mean? They have good time, and it's all predicated upon their history, their culture, their sciences, etc., etc., etc.
That's right.
But you go to the African American festival. I have pictures, man. They got Europeans selling this crazy type food. Europeans now. I kept the file.
Yes, sir.
They got the twerkers on the stage. They don't have a net. They got this, excuse me, they got this cheap jewelry that is worthless.
Yes, sir.
And mad because won't nobody buy it. And they got the rappers, the singers, their career is over.
Yes, sir.
And this is the festival in Baltimore.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
don't you think, our people, this is a rhetorical question.
Right.
Can't we do better than that?
Way better.
There's nothing that expresses our culture when we come together, whether it's so-called Black History Month, whether it's African American Festival. There's nothing that expresses our true culture.
Nope. Nope. It's sad, and it's not. I don't mean to say it, and I don't think you do either, to say it in a critical fashion, to say we're better than. It's not that at all. It's sad. It's sad and depressing to look at it from our perspective and go, wow, that these are the marks of a cultureless people. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Let me tell you a story. This is one sister. Shout out to Melanin Sute. There's one sister who's very powerful in New York City. Very active, very straightforward minded, and very analytical. An analytical mind. Not fettered by the emotions and the ego and these things. But anyway, I remember about a year and a half or so ago, before she took her child and began to homeschool her, a child went to she went to a private school, I believe. And she attended, they had an international festival. You already know the rest of the story. Came back, and the sister called me up, upset. Why? Because her daughter had friends of different nationalities. And when they came, the whole thing was to come in your traditional cultural garb and present a food or something, or a clothing item, and then talk about your cultural heritage. All of the children came that way. What could she wear? Korean-made kente cloth? You see what I'm saying? What could she present? You understand? And what was crazier that the sister told me was that all of her friends saw her just like they saw themselves until that day. And on that day, they were like, wait a minute. And the children realized it's something different between us and them. That's right. And the children tapped their parents like, hey, what's up with that? And the parents basically gave them the brush off like, don't even ask. So automatically now they begin to separate themselves and say, you something.
Brother, you know what? I don't even think you're so busy that I know you wasn't even listening to me because you just jump on. Brother, I just gave a scenario right before you came on how my son was friends with a young man from, not young man, but a child from Honduras. And they had been friends for young. They would stay over my house, and I told my son at the age of 15 or 16, he's going to begin to choose.
Woo!
And brother, it happened like I said it. I say he's going to choose our side, or he's going to choose the other side. And because he can pass for the other side, he's going to think there's more benefits there, and he's going to go to that side. Brother, when he was 16, he came from upstate New York because he had moved from Maryland to upstate New York, I think Buffalo. And when he came down with a European. And I'm talking about Euro-European. A Euro-European. And his whole demeanor and mannerisms have changed. Now, him and the European come to my house, I treat them now, I don't got no problem with that. I love different cultures. I want y'all to know I love different cultures. I have no problem with it. I'm telling you, I break bread, we can talk, we can rap, but you ain't getting my daughter. You ain't getting my daughter.
But you know what, Mo? You don't think they're thinking the same thing? They're thinking the exact same thing. They're like, listen, we can meet on the level and depart on the square, but man, that's as far as it goes.
Well, I don't have any daughters, but it's just sad. But anyway, but I said the same exact thing. So, brother, real quick, what do you think about the Kaepernick thing? What do you think?
Brother, I think he made a powerful statement. You know what I'm saying? I think he made a powerful statement, specifically with a reference to the anthem.
Yes.
Powerful statement. I mean, hold on. We can reform and we can revise things, other issues. You know what I'm saying? Why can't we revise that? Why can't we look at that national anthem and in the second and third verses where it is blatantly perpetuating the doctrine of discovery mindset blatantly by name? Like,
yes,
glad that these guys have no way out, these Negroes. We're glad that we're killing these natives. And then you put the capstone on it by saying in the last verse, then onward we must when our cause it is just. And in this be our motto, in God we trust. Come on, man.
How crazy is that?
2016. And what you have now, see, the timing is beautiful. Our prophet was prophetic. He said the time has come in 1928.
That's right.
When every nation must worship under its own vine and fig tree, and every tongue must confess his own. On your last show, I said, the next 50 years, you will not in the West hear of people being identified as white or black. Guaranteed. What we're seeing with the overt racial hostility, with the overt Islamophobia, and it all being directed at our people here in America, is that Europeans are seeing the demise of whiteness. It's going the way of the dinosaur. Many of them are trying to adjust to it. Others are fighting like hell to keep it around a little while longer. Guess who's helping to keep it alive? Many of us.
Hey, brother. Oh my goodness. And that brings me to my next point. And we're just talking. We're trying to get used to this new station and this new channel, Moorish World TV. But that brings me to my new thing, brother. And I'm going to speak on it just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit. And then we're going to talk about Trump and Hillary.
Yeah.
The problem is a lot of our people are contributing to our demise.
Yes.
I made a statement one time in the temple, and as a matter of fact, the video is uploaded. Matter of fact, I think that's one of the first videos you see me, and you was like, "Yes, brother." And I made the statement over the podium, over the rostrum. I say, "If you're not with me, you're against me."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The prophet has a plan. If you're not with it, you're against it.
That's it.
And I say that to say this: you don't have to follow the prophet plan by name.
Correct.
But if the plan gets us out of this condition,
there you go.
Come and help with the plan.
Come and help with the plan. This is a movement.
How many brothers have been around for 20 years standing at the same place? They don't have a plan.
No
so
plan.
They may say, well, the Moors, what the Moors have done? Guess what the Moors done? The Moors at some point deserve the honor of being able to keep the institution of Moorish science available. So a brother like me, a brother like Sharif, a brother like Tunica Ill, brothers like Ali's men, and all the other great Moors can come through and build on.
Here you go. I'll give you one real simple. What have the Moors done? The Moors breathe life into your so-called conscious ideology and conscious community. If it wasn't for organizations like the Moorish Science Temple of America, the UNIA, and the Nation of Islam, you wouldn't know what it's like to be conscious. Period.
Exactly.
Period. You know what I'm saying? Give homage.
Exactly.
It's just that simple. You wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the Moorish Science Temple of America, founded by the Prophet Noble Drali in 1913. You wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the UNIA. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the forerunner. You wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. You would not exist. As a matter of fact, even with the whole science of blackness, as you think you understand it, your whole aura, your whole swag comes from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. Man, pay homage. Hey, it's just that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, brother.
So yes, sir,
go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
You know, so you know, you know, what have the Moors done? The Moors breathe life into you. We were doing this before your idea was ever thought of, brother. You know what I'm saying? But I mean doing it in the great plan to uplift all in humanity, not the great plan to pimp information to put some coins in your pocket.
Brother.
Because you can't get a job, because you can't be productive, because nobody taught you how. Is that so?
Brother, you know, I had a talk with a brother today, and he told me that his accomplishment was providing jobs for other people. That he provides jobs for people. Now, but the jobs that I seen the brother providing, that was like giving somebody a plate and say, here's your food. That is not a job.
Not a job. That's not a job.
You gave a person a few dollars to make for a minute.
Oh, that's not a job.
That's not a job. You throw an event. You throw an event, right? And you let people set up tables, right? And they make a few dollars, right? You pay some security, right?
Yeah, that's charity. That's charity.
That's
charity. That's charity. That's what that is. That's charity, and it's the worst kind of charity. No disrespect. I mean, if that's the best you could do, praise the Lord. That's the best. The gifts of the understanding of the treasures of Allah. What He gave you is what He gave you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But you know, if that's the best you could do, hey, it is what it is. But that's charity. And the reason why I say that's charity, you know, is, oh man, and it's the worst kind of thing, because it's just like me, it's just like the present welfare system. It's just, if I destroy or erode your sense of self-determination, in other words, I just, for no other particular reason that you're breathing, I give you $100 a month. I give you $200 a month. Now, you know, you can't live off $100 a month, $200 a month, but after about 3 or 4 or 5 months of doing that, after a while, you find a way. Meaning you go so low that hey, I could sit and do nothing for this $200 and I get by. I make it happen. You know, how do I make it happen? Quarter waters and ramen noodles for meals for my children. You know how I go.
And guess what happened? We call it in Baltimore the Baltimore gut.
Yes, sir.
That's that cheap food that make you blow up and look like you're bloated and look crazy.
That is why diabetes is an epidemic in the Asiatic communities across the country, brother, man.
Exactly.
One reason.
Brother, you know, one thing we have to do is we have to definitely try to eradicate this nonsense. I want to do a show. Hopefully we could do it on Sunday, and I'm going to write a format for it too on Sunday. I want to do a show on Sunday addressing who's who in the conscious community. We're not going to name no names or anything like that, but being able to identify, like, what have you built in the 20 years that you've been in the conscious community?
There you go.
What have you built in the last 5 years in your neighborhood? What change have you affected in your neighborhood?
Who knows you in your community for doing anything uplifting?
Who knows?
No. Notice what I said. Who knows you in your community for doing anything uplifting? We're not saying who knows you for you
from the internet.
Yeah. That's not, no.
Yeah.
Who knows you for doing, who can we call in your city?
Brother, let me tell you this. I'm going to say this, and I hope you watch it. Yes, I'm going to say this. I'm going to put it out there, but I ain't going to say no names. I will in the future. Brother, you know, I met with a brother yesterday, matter of fact, today too, and I'll tell you the rest of the story later. Anyway, the brother told me where he was from. In Baltimore. He told me where he was from. Not, brother, man, Allah is so amazing. Even the little minor details Allah will reveal to you so you can see what's really going on. I didn't ask to be revealed this. I'm going to tell you what happened. I went home after meeting with the brother. He said where he was from, and I met with him because I thought he was talking reckless, but come find out, no, he wasn't. Anyway, I actually like the brother a little bit because he got humble real nice. I like him. But nevertheless,
that's what happens with white class soldiers, man. They materialize on you.
Brother, I just pop up like Jock in the Box, like whoa.
Materialize on you. That's right.
Brother, and I pull up and I don't look like a broke Moor either. Let's be clear about that. Moors ain't broke. Let's be clear.
Mhm.
You know, some Moors are more humble than others. But I can get
Right.
flamboyant if I need to be. But it's only to attract people to know that we can live good too. That's it. Bottom line.
Yes, sir.
I talked to the brother, and the brother tells me where he was from in Baltimore. My
Yes,
brother,
sir.
I'm telling you this. I went to the area he said, not intentionally. They have these wonderful rotis. If you're ever in Baltimore, go to Park Heights and try these rotis. They're right by the Blue Caribbean. That's a drop, Blue Caribbean. I know y'all do that winding in there and all that old other stuff, but nevertheless, they next to them, it's called Island Cuisine, if I'm not mistaken. Whatever it is, it's next to the Blue Caribbean, but these rotis are jumping. Anyway, I went to get a roti and it's right in the hood. So I said, you know what? Let me stop at this thrift store real quick. Now, at this thrift store, man, they trap 100 miles an hour. I'm trying to tell you, Daniel Boone ain't got nothing on these trappers. I'm trying to tell you, they going 100 behind the building. They rolling. So when I walk through there, a brother walk up. He said, "Hey, what's up, Tahaka, babe?" I said, "What's going on with you?" He was like, "Man, it's all good, brother." He said, "I want to come down to your temple when I get a chance." I said, "Sure, but don't bring that mess with you."
Right.
I said, "You come, but don't bring that mess with you." He said, "All right, brother." He said, "Brother, you be going in on your station." I said, "Brother," I said, "Yeah." I said, "Call them over here real quick. I got to ask y'all a question, man." Yeah. So he called over like 4 dudes. I said, "Look, y'all know me because y'all see me around here all the time. No, I'm not from Park Heights, but y'all see me all the time." I said, "Brother, is this brother from Park Heights?" I say, "This brother, you know him from YouTube. Is this brother from Park Heights?" Whether the brother is from Park Heights or not is not the question. But you know what these trappers told me? Man, that N-word ain't from no Park Heights, man. I seen him at a bookstore one time doing a lecture. I said to myself, I said, you know what I did, brother? My Moorish side kicked in. I went over my trunk and looked for my camera, but it wasn't there. I wanted to get this off film. I wanted to get this off film. I said, "What?" I said, "You mean to tell me this brother is not from Park Heights?" It's like, man, if he is, I have never seen him up here. Never. Maybe he was back in the day, but I don't know this guy.
So they gave him who that status.
I said, "Don't none of y'all know him?" I said, "Brother, you know me. You know me. You know me from YouTube, but y'all see me here all the time, walking through, coming through, talking to people, and nobody knows this guy." Bottom line is this. Bottom line is this. We got a lot of posers in the conscious community. We have a lot of people that's standing up, acting like they're conscious to try to find a way to get in your purses and your wallets. That's it. They want to find a way to put a book together, to put a tennis shoe together, to get in your purse and your wallet.
That's right.
Brother, last but not least, and then we talk about what we think about this election. Last but not least, the brother ended up being a good-spirited brother. I mean, what I mean by good-spirited brother, he gave me a all right feeling about him, which I know that it was a YouTube persona that I misread.
Yes, sir.
And it comes off.
In other words, the person you met in person wasn't the person you usually see on the internet.
No. But let me tell you, the time that I met him, I actually had the camera and I pulled it out and I set it on my car. Yeah, I set it on my car. Yeah. And it comes off in the video. The brother even say, "Man, I don't know everything about everything." Huh?
That's right.
Huh? I said, I bring the humbleness out you. I was playing with him. I said, the Moors bring the humbleness out you. But anyway, the bottom line is, man, the person that you see now through this medium called YouTube, I'm telling you, you're going to see him in person, the same person. These people on YouTube are plotting, scheming to find a way to get your money. Half of these guys don't have no belief system.
Well, one of the reasons too, and it's real simple, one of the reasons too, is we already know, we said it before, is that these other individuals, this is their hustle. What you and I are doing right now is the way that they make their money. We don't make our money doing this. So the person I am now and the person you are now is the person you're going to see in the street. With them, it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? It's something like akin to acting. You know? There's online persona, and then there's you off camera. And they're two different people.
Look, this what happened. The brother told me, I said, I don't get no money off of YouTube. He said, what? I said, man, I don't get no money off of YouTube. Somebody hacked into my account. You know what I'm saying? And I don't get a dime off of you. He told me I was crazy. I said, the only reason I started YouTube is, he said, brother, you ain't getting the money. He said, I'm crazy. He said, that's crazy. I said, the only reason I started YouTube to counterbalance the lies that's put out against the Moors. That's it. I didn't start YouTube to be famous. I always been famous in my circles. Always been somebody in my circles. My self-esteem is through the roof, through my circles.
They're akin, here it is, Mo. They're akin to the disparity or the enmity between the medical community and the scientific community. See, the medical community makes its money, and that's the determining factor. The medical community doesn't make its money off making you well. The medical community makes its money off you being sick. So if they did the job of making everybody well, what they do is work themselves out of a business. The scientific community makes its money by research and reporting accurate findings.
Exactly.
There you go. That is the difference between some of the other platforms and Moorish World TV.
Exactly. And guess what? You want me to tell you the difference is that I can put a camera on my head, you know, like them bikers do with them cameras, and follow me every day, and I can show you how to get some real money. And when I say real money, I say it like that kind of brash because everybody like to talk money. But I already understand what money is for real. It's really nothing. I mean, it's really nothing. But I only put it out there because that's what y'all like to talk about. That's what y'all like to see.
See, they call us spooky, right? Yeah. They call us spooky because we're religious. We're men, you know, but they call us spooky because we deal with religion. Well, see, one of the things that religion teaches us is how to get money. But how to do it violate our principle.
That's right.
And let me tell you how. Because people talk that whole, House Joint Resolution 192, 1933, U.S. went off the gold standard. The money's fiat money, ain't no value back in it. First of all, that's not true. Let me just say that. Let me look in the camera mode. That's not true. Okay, you're only listening to what Europeans have told you back in 2003 when they stopped saying that. Joint Resolution 192 tells us that they went off the gold standard, but what it means, that's only half of it. The other half is they went off of a fixed standard and switched to an unfixed standard. The unfixed standard is the faith and credit of the American people. So if you knew anything, that tells you that is now your labor and your trust that backs the bills. That being said, it tells you this one thing, and you will only get this from a spiritual education. Money is relationships. Money is a spirit. Hey, brother, that's what it is.
Brother, didn't we talk about that today, brother?
Go ahead, man.
Brother, didn't we talk about that today? I said, Brother Sharif, I said, I'm not filthy rich, but I know some people.
And that's enough.
I know some
every
people.
living
I got a few things, but I know some people.
Every living thing by chords. That's right,
I know some people that relies on my information. I rely on their information. That translates into commerce.
Correct. And that is a spiritual principle.
Exactly.
That's a spiritual principle. So y'all can call us spooky all you want, but being spiritual doesn't mean being spooky. Being religious doesn't mean being spooky. Why? Because I can show you some dollars and I can give you a job. How about that? But I can give you a job. We're not talking about creating, something, an event, and then I invite you and you put $100 in your pocket, and then you have to wait for me to create another event so you can put another $100 in your pocket. See, that's charity. That's charity for poor-minded people. I didn't say poor people, poor-minded people. See,
Yes.
creating a job means I can show you how to make yourself the job.
Exactly.
To be a job. That way I can talk with my brother and then take a nap and wake up with more money than I had before I started talking with my brother and took the nap.
Hey, the jigger effect. The jigger effect is I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. The jigger effect. You know, and that's what we have to teach people. See, this is that Moorish science that haven't been taught in a long time. See, back in the 20s, the prophet taught this Moorish science that we're talking about. And then, and not knocking anybody, but the prophet taught a Moorish science that gave people the food, clothing, and shelter that they desired, not that they had to accept. You hear what I said? It gave people the food, clothing, and shelter that they desired.
That they desired.
Not that they had, not that the food, clothing, and shelter that they had to accept. See, this even goes towards the dope boy that think he really get money. And that flash money. And I tell you all the time, if it can fit in your pocket or fit in your hand, it ain't no money.
It ain't money.
That ain't no money. What are you talking about? Put a house in your pocket.
Right.
Paid and clear.
Right.
Put that in your pocket. Throw that on the video. Look, I'm balling. Pick up a house. Pick up some land. Pick up a piece of land. You feel what I'm saying? So my point of the matter is, man, we got to get out of this infantile state of mind, man.
Well, let me share a story with you all, with the listeners.
Come on, brother.
Share this one story. Our brother, our Moorish American brother, you know, and Ali's men comrade, brother Rashamed Ahmed Eel, aka MC Nat Turner, 40 band.
Hold on. Salute my brother. Let me tell you something. If y'all friends with Nat on Facebook, he is the most swagged out Moor you ever want to see. Take it away, brother.
Man, listen, man, all I gotta say is 40 bandits, Mo. You know what I'm saying? That's Long Island. What y'all know about that? But anyway, you know, he's in the music industry, you know, and at one point was very doing a lot of business or doing a lot of work with Busta Rhymes. Shout out to brother Busta Rhymes. Our Moorish American brother and Ali's men comrade, Malik Juma Bey, aka celebrity fitness trainer Mark Jenkins, usually has a close relationship with Busta and used to train him. But anyway, he was having a conversation with Nat Turner on the phone. Busta was, and he was telling Busta was telling Nat how proud he was. Now, mind you, Nat don't make millions of dollars in the music industry. He's not big like that. You know what I'm saying? At all. Bus is. Right? Bus has made millions. So, and this is to your point, brother. So Bus was telling Nat how proud he was of him because Nat had just closed on a home. On a house. Understand? Nat works for a law firm. Me and Nat used to gangbang back in the day. Now Nat works for a law firm. You understand? Okay, there we go. So, and this is a testament to the teachings. So anyway, Nat's like, what do you mean you proud of me? I'm balling, I'm doing it. What do you mean? What do you mean, Bus? You make millions of dollars. Know what he said? He said, brother, I don't own nothing. I don't have my name on a property. I don't own no property. The Phantom is leased. I don't own nothing. No one taught me the value of real and true ownership. I just had money in my hands. I'm not rich. I've made millions of dollars, but I have nothing to show for it. This is what Bus said himself. Hey. But we spooky, right, Mo? We're spooky.
Brother, you know what? I'm gonna tell you what. You know I always make that statement, brother. One of my favorite statements is, brother, while these brothers worrying about what's going on with one another and fighting and going back and forth with another, I'm worrying about when I'm gonna cut my grass. I got real grass, man.
Real grass, brother.
I got real grass. And on the side of my house, I got this little hill. See, I gotta worry about stuff like that. I don't got to worry about if this brother believe that Moorish science is right. Because when I cut my grass, I'm living Moorish science. I got grass.
Brother.
I'm living.
Yes. Exactly. I got grass. I actually own the grass. How about that?
You know what I mean? I like grass. What y'all talking about, grass? Somebody who just tuned in probably said, "Oh man, these boys are gone crazy. They're talking about grass." But guess what? Guess what?
Yes.
The good thing about it is that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali teachings instructed us how to become the owner, a little bigger than being the boss.
The prophet said that Moors are men.
Yes.
Men, upright, independent, and fearless, who care for their loved ones and follow their prophet to a destiny that is neither uncertain nor unknown, meaning we got a direction, we got a vision. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And with vision comes a plan. So we have a plan and an agenda. And it's like our conversation earlier, when you ask a lot of these other brothers, what is their plan or agenda? You hear crickets.
Yeah. And you know what? I would love, you see where I'm at right now, brother, because we're take action type brothers. I would love to get brothers on this platform.
Yes, sir.
And ask them to explain to us what is the 5, 10, 25-year plan for our people as it relates to you being a leader in the community. What is it?
See, we in Ali's men, we got a plan. You know what I'm saying? We have a plan.
That's right.
We have a 3-year, a 5-year, and a 10-year plan. You know what I'm saying?
That's
we have, and when you don't have that, even as an individual, who's going to follow you? Our prophet said a leader without the influence of good works is no leader at all. In other words, put simply, we know how it is in the street. People follow power. That's why when dope hit the streets, the gang culture fell apart.
Yes.
Because who became the G? The dope man, the man that had to work. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's what happened. People follow power, good, bad, or indifferent. People follow power. So if you have no vision, you have no direction. If you have no direction or agenda, you have no power. You have no influence, and nobody needs you. You are entertainment.
Exactly.
You understand? You just man. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. And that's why a lot of brothers have problems finding a wife. That's why a lot of brothers have issues with sisters respecting them.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's real, because they chasing a sister instead of chasing the vision.
Hey,
no disrespect, but pimps call that a trick.
Yeah. No. Hey, brother, that's why, hey, you know, it reminds me of things I say, man. I wait patiently to my ship to come on in, man. I don't have time to play these games, man. I have time to play these games, man. You know, because one thing about me, I know I am such a unique person. I am such a unique person that it's going to take a unique person to roll with me. My energy level is on 1,000 for one.
Sure.
Number two, I love my people in such a way. If you say something that goes against the love that I have for my people, I get offended.
Right.
I get offended. I mean, seriously, like, why are they doing that? Man, you don't understand what we've been through? What's wrong with you?
Right.
Leave them people alone. You don't understand? You don't understand why she wearing a half a shirt and not pregnant and her belly hanging out? You don't understand that? You know, and so my problem is when people don't it's all right to assess the situation, but to belittle a situation, it's gonna be hard for me. Right. It's gonna be hard for me to make that number one match. That's why big brother, I gotta salute you and the queen, brother, because the story as you related to me, brother, I'm telling you, I can only hope, pray, and wish, and it might turn into the Erykah Badu effect. Maybe next lifetime.
I don't think so, Mo. I don't think so. But that's what it is. You know, it's like, you know, there's a principle, right, that actually we talk about in martial arts, right? But the principle, once you find the principle, you hold on to the principle. When you hold on to the principle, everything else lines up behind the principle. You don't have to push people to do it. It's just what it is. People, all things for you line up behind the principle. And everything that's in line with that principle, now you have direct access to. You know what I mean? Exactly. It's like me holding a string of beads. I hold the one bead, and then gravity does the rest. It lines up everything in line with the one I'm holding. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Hey,
Yeah,
so Brother Sharif, so we don't want to be on too much longer. Yeah. Let me ask you a quick question. What do you think about the Hillary and Trump thing? What's going on? What do you think about that? What's your opinion on that?
Sure. First of all, I want to say just generally about elections, about the voting process, about our participation in it. Man, don't fall for the dog and pony show. You know, I don't care who's running at the presidential level. I'm not saying don't pay attention to it. What I am saying is understand how politics works. Politics is local. Pay attention to that. President Obama could write something into law benefiting our people today, and we wouldn't see it for another 3 to 5 years because it's at the national level. And depending on who or what party or what interests run your local politics, you might not see it at all. You understand? You know, so what we need to do is pay more attention to local politics, because if your local representative writes something or your common council passes it, you will see the effect the next business day. And that directly affects your quality of life. So that's what you pay attention to. Now, that being said, the whole thing with Trump and Hillary, I mean, there's a whole lot that I could say about it in terms of speculation or intelligent speculation. But what I will say is both of them are bad in some respects. They're more immediately bad in just different and unique ways. But what does bad or what does heat do? Heat or fire does what? It burns, but it also refines. So either way it goes, this thing is going to force us to get it together. And it ain't going to be, it's not going to be nice. But usually it's not. What did the prophet, was he quoted as saying? He said that the Moors are a hard-headed, stiff-necked, and rebellious people that never did anything except at the point of a sword. And guess what? Hillary and Trump got swords.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is, this is what we all have to understand.
Yes, sir.
We're going to do a whole show real soon how Operation Proclamation worked, because that's exactly what you were talking about. How you galvanize the power from the lower level, grassroots.
Yes, sir.
You change things locally overnight.
Yes, sir.
We can put things in process overnight.
Right. Now, let me say something real quick about that, too, especially to my more radical brothers and brothers that really want to throw a fist at this whole system situation, right? And I've said this before. The origin and the purpose, the primary purpose and objective of the KKK was to break our political power in the South during Reconstruction and to prevent us from ever regaining significant political power so that we can assert not even demand, assert our equal right to society and equal participation in this society as we are owed and deserved, right? That is their primary purpose. What does that tell you, brothers and sisters? It tells you that they're willing to wage guerrilla warfare and outright terrorism to keep you from pulling the ballot lever. What does that tell you? The most revolutionary, the most radical in a civilized way, because Marcus Garvey taught us to stay away from radicalism, right? But the most wildest, the most offensive thing you could do towards so-called white supremacy is to intelligently use the ballot. That we say in martial arts, right? Or, you know, in the fight game, how can you tell the enemy's weak point? The enemy's weak point is the point he protects the most.
And
it's the point he protects the most. And
I will elaborate on that. The brothers say the most radical thing you can do is pull the ballot. Now imagine this. And I've been saying this so much that I tell this to older church ladies. I tell this to regular hood brothers. I tell this to regular hood sisters. I tell this to people who consider themselves educated.
Yes.
In my district, matter of fact, I'm going to use Annapolis, for example, because this was sad. It was more sad than anything. I did a little presentation in Annapolis, Maryland, this summer. And I did some research to try to find out how we can harness the power in Annapolis, how we can put people in position in Annapolis in order to affect change. So I did this research. I come to find out that there's maybe 8 or 9 districts in Annapolis. They don't have council people, they have aldermen. And through this research, I found out that 3 of the main districts in Annapolis, Maryland, were so-called, quote unquote, African-American ran, which means that the aldermen and 2 older women were so-called African-Americans. Now, when I did my research, I found out that the guy that was in office, and I lived in that district at one time, that was in office, he got in office literally by 50 votes. Literally by 50 votes. Literally. Now,
that's disgusting. That's disgusting.
Now, in his district, it's 15,000 people.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
15,000 people. All of them in the district is our people.
Now, let me show you how deep that goes. In that 15,000 people of our people in that district of 15,000, pick, you know what? Here we go. And I'm just going to call it, I'm just going to use this analogy. Let's take, one of those trappers, one of those top shotters. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Take one of those dudes. Tell him to pull out his cell phone. Tell him to go through 100 contacts. You know what? I'm not even going to say 100. 50 contacts that because of his influence, whether the influence is good or bad, because of his influence, he could say, vote this way because I said so.
Oh, that's what I was about to get to.
Brother.
That's what I was about to get to.
Guy would literally control the district.
Check this out. Check this out. Because this is what I want to clarify. The other 2 districts, now I could be wrong on the numbers a little bit because, so don't quote me on this, but this was basically the numbers that I did my research with. The other 2 districts, the 2 sisters got in uncontested. Do you know what that means?
That means no one ran against them.
No one ran against them, and no one voted against them.
Ain't that something?
They got in there uncontested. Now, okay, what does that tell me? That tells me that I can get any Joe Blow, and in one district, I can get 60 to 70 people, and I can put Joe Blow in office. But we just don't want an old Joe Blow. We want somebody that is going to try to put the bill to the table to get our tax money back so we can affect change in the community. Right. And the sisters situation in the 2 districts, I can get 2 people and we rally behind them people and we put these people into office and now we control the money.
Brother, see, that's the real G game right there.
We control the money.
That's the real G game right there. And that's and I'm just going to say this flat out, and I don't care who gets offended. It's just the truth. Truth needs no apology. If you say you're about improving the condition of our people and uplifting our people, and you don't know what we're talking about right now at this moment, or are not involved even marginally in your local area, then you are lying to yourself and to others, because this is the only way it's done in anybody's society. It's the only way it's done, which is why the KKK and the Southern Europeans went so hard on us, because we voted intelligently, coming directly out of slavery, 1865, 1870.
Now imagine this. In Baltimore, it's similar. The numbers are very similar in Baltimore. Now, within the 12 districts in Baltimore, 8 of them are Asiatic, so-called black. Yes. Imagine if we use this same method and get 8 people that are for us, where when I got a problem, I can pick up my cell phone and say, now, we need to get this police department right now, right front and center. Somebody just got shot, such and such. We need his head. He need to be off the force. There is no pay. Matter of fact, we need to put a bill in on Monday. So there is no pay on leave when you shoot people.
Right.
And in Baltimore right now, they shut down the school. School haven't been open a week. They shut it down 2 days because no air conditioning.
Ain't that something?
Why can't the council person all this summer, all winter, say, you know what? That school has no AC. You know why they don't do that? Because nobody is asking for it until sweat is beating down the head of a child.
Now, it's interesting that you say that, brother. See, this is another, piece of information for our people. First of all, our people have learned because of disenfranchisement over generations and other things, right? And in our own ignorance and then apathy, we've learned to live without government. We see government as big brother, oppressing people. That's how we see government, when in truth, we're to participate. So government is an equal level partner and business partner, dealing with the management of our own money. That's what government is. So that being said, government is complaint driven. It's complaint driven. That's how it's activated when it relates to providing the services that you have already paid for as a tax-paying citizen. That's how it works. You don't complain. They look at you like you're crazy because you're not complaining intelligently. Means you are seeking a return on your investment. You already paid for the services. The services that government provides are prepaid.
Exactly.
There you go.
But what I'm doing right now, I'm looking at my phone, right?
Yes, sir.
And hopefully I can bring it up real quick before we close up.
Yes, sir.
It's a guy in Catonsville. And I keep talking about the Pakistanians in Baltimore, because they really made a stride in the last 5 years that haven't been seen in a while. I'm talking about even past the Mexicans. I mean, they have been making leaps and bounds. But nevertheless, I'm trying to pull up this guy now. I think he's from District 1 in Baltimore County. If I can pull him up real quick, I will show the people that this guy is Pakistani.
Yes, sir.
His name is Jelani. Before Jelani, it was a European in office. They put Jelani in office the same way we're talking about, Brother Sharif.
See?
They put him in office. How did they put him in office? They figured out. Wasn't nobody voting. They figured it out. So if ain't nobody voting, Jelani, just good as anyone else.
Right.
Jelani, get on in there.
Get on in there.
And now, guess what? In that neighborhood in Catonsville, they got their own grocery store. Trust me on this. Trust me on this one. They paid a part. Tax money paid a part. Trust me on this one, because they got unity and they say we need a grocery store, and because we don't eat the such and such and such and such. And guess what? This is the type of money it'll put back into the local economy if we have a grocery store, because this is the number of immigrants in this. They did analysis. The government went up and gave them some of that paper. Gave them some of that paper, and now the grocery store is Patel grocery store. Look it up. It's on Route 40.
Wow.
Patel.
See.
They got mosques. They bought. It was one of these type of places, a garden type place.
Yes,
they bought that, converted into a mosque, and they rent out the other side to a pretty nice local little restaurant. Yeah. Wow. Doing big things. And not only that, they have bought land and have a campus with a school. Man, this in the past 5-10 years I'm talking about.
Brother, hold on a second. Go ahead and I gotta take a bathroom break, bro.
Well, do you think? But this is in the past 5-10 years that all of this happened. So the point of the matter is, if you can involve yourself with a Moorish American, and that's right, I'm telling you, a Moorish American of today. If you can involve yourself with a Moorish American with a plan to take things to the next level, and Baltimore have a plan that is consistent with the Prophet Noble Drew Ali plan. I know how to work the plan because I worked it in my life personally. So if you're in the Baltimore area, come on and let's work the plan. Stop getting all pumped up and dewy-eyed because the Harper Bay and ranting and raving, running crazy, talk crazy on YouTube. Man, forget all that, man. If we don't come together, man, if you just want to be entertained by information, your reward is going to be not advancing in life. But if you want to make something happen, if you want to get them $1 million back, let's put somebody in office so we can get our tax monies back. Let's do that. Let's go walk door to door and get people support our candidate. Whether it's a Bay, whether it's an L, or whether it's just someone with some moral fortitude and principles that will bring the money back home. That's what we have to do in Baltimore, and we have to do it in every state, in every city. We have to, man, I'm telling you, this is the Prophet Noble Drew Ali plan. He did it in Chicago from 1926 to the time of his passing. And he made leaps and bounds. The Moors did not want for nothing. And not only did the Moors not want for nothing, the local community did not want for nothing. Everybody wasn't Bays and L's that supported the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. But they supported the Prophet Noble Drew Ali because they understood the program. Do you understand that if we take our brother, our sister, and get behind that brother or that sister, our votes can put them in office? Go to your internet and look and see how many votes that someone got put in office at your local level. You can grab Bobby Brown if he live in the district and outdo the votes that some of them votes that we be voting for, that some of the votes that we be challenging. We worrying about Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton. Man, come on, man. We ain't getting no paper out that. But what we can do, oh, we already say I'm friends with a lot of Pakistanis, man. They own a lot of property, man. I do business with them. Not necessarily friends. I do a lot of business with them. They came in the last 5 or 10 years, and they just doing their thing. So I do a lot of business with them, a whole lot of business with them. I do property management. You know, I used to do home improvement. And so I do property management. So yes, we're already, a lot of them are my friends, but we more friends on the business side, you know, and I can appreciate the leaps and bounds that they have accomplished in such short amount of time. And I know we can do the same. Yes, sir, Brother Sharif.
I want to add something to that. Our brother Snow Bay, Ali's men comrade Snow Bay, made a powerful point to that situation, to that topic. And he was talking about unity, even with the so-called college community amongst our own people, whether you Hebrew, Israelite, Kemetic, whatever. The 2 points wherein people unite is not in spiritual or religious ideology. That's not where they unite. They unite on the issues of politics and commerce, politics and economics. Let's get this money. Let's improve our social condition.
That's
it.
And you know, to add to that, Brother Sharif,
yes, sir.
We actually have conversation about how I understand Islam, and they are jaw-dropping like, wow. Wow. I never knew that you were, I never knew that you was a Muslim. I never knew. I thought your name makes me think you're African or something.
Notice, that's funny. Notice that they don't deny that you're one, even.
Oh no. When I come to them, whenever I've come to their homes, it's always, you have to be with the family. Before you work, you have to eat.
There you go.
Before you work, you have to eat. Now your toilet is falling through the floor. I'm good.
Right.
No. have a juice, have an orange juice. But this is the thing that I'm saying about different ethnic groups or whatever what have you, is that they have a certain thing about them that they can respect others.
Yes, sir.
Do business with others.
Yes, sir.
But still be loyal to self.
Ain't that something, brother? Ain't that something?
They can respect others, do business with others, and still be loyal to self. To thyself be true.
To thyself be true, brother.
You know, so with that, we're going to wrap this up. I don't see any questions in the chat room. We just had a talk. We was testing this out for the first time, just to have a conversation. You know, on Sunday, we're going to come with another topic, and it's going to be here on Moorish World TV. But we're going to come with another topic. I don't know. Let me see. Before we go, Brother Sharif, let's see in the chat room. Is there any topics? Because I got a few topics. I tell you, I want to address fleecing the people, but I think I want to keep Sunday also for something more elevated as it relates to our prophet. So, anybody in the chat room, any questions about more signs that you think will be a hot topic to address on Sunday? Let's see what they say, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Due to the fact that I was thinking that our Wednesday, like I'm going to have a lineup of topics that we are going to discuss on Wednesdays.
Yes,
and I think I might even sneak in here and there as the week go through and people begin to make comments online. What I would do is address some of the comments. But the thing is, I got a topic: institution building and commerce. Oh yeah, we can test that. That's the easy one. Topic on purity. James Bowden. Jesus of Christianity versus Jesus of Islam. Whoa.
That's a topic. We need that one.
I like that.
Yeah, we need that. Yes, sir.
Indian,
yes, sir.
Mexican, and Moorish connection.
Say it again.
Indian, Mexican, and Moorish connection.
I'm going to tell you why that one will be a hot topic, because our answers and our contributions would be novel. It's not what people would expect. I'll just put it that way. It ain't what you would expect.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do this. Jesus of Islam versus Jesus of Christianity.
My upcoming book, the upcoming book that I've been working on for a while, right? I was about to release it or start pre-release orders, but because of the last show we did dealing with Jesus, I decided to include another chapter on Jesus and the mysteries of Jesus. So,
all right.
Yeah.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this week. We're going to do Jesus of Islam and Jesus versus Jesus of Christianity.
Sir.
And then the following week, we're going to do. Y'all ready? Islam of the Quran and Islam of Hadith. Do y'all hear what I say? We're going to do Islam of the Quran. And this is what I want to show y'all. I want to show y'all. See, Anhk Bay like the top. Watch it. Hold up. Show y'all my Quran. I see all these markers up in there.
Mm-hmm.
I studied the Quran very well. And what I've come to see is that a lot of people that study the Quran and study the Hadith, a lot of the Hadith that they study and that they follow cannot be found in the Quran. Facts. A lot of things that people do in the name of Islam is not found in the Quran.
That's right.
It's not found in the. All of my markings here on this book here was looking up the things that people did in the name of Islam, and I come to find out that a lot of it was hadith, and it did not relate to the Quran.
That's right.
It was a person interpretation to try to control and dictate the lives of people.
That's right.
That's it. Another control mechanism. So,
right.
So we're gonna hold up real quick, bro, Sharif, before we. I love. Look, it was hard getting y'all audience to roll with me. My brother War Ready. Bro, I thought War Ready was ready to go to war every time I seen him in the chat. And that's one of my brothers on the support level now. Salute, brother. Anyway, brother Sharif.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, let's give a tidbit before Sunday coming. Then we're gonna check out.
No doubt.
Jesus of Islam and Jesus of Christianity. Real quick, what's the difference? Short.
Woo. All right. You know, wow, man, that's such a meaty topic, because even let's talk about Jesus of Christianity right off the rip. The Jesus of Christianity, as generally understood, is the product of the Council of Nicaea from 322 to 325 AD. That is the artificial and contrived, and contrived Jesus character that now, like it or not, that ideal rules the world. It rules the world. The Europeans, Rome, invented that. They appropriated, the history and the story of the archetype and the history of our brother, and then whitewashed it, and then added their own stuff to it so that they could continue to use the very same things that helped to civilize them in their favor at our expense. That is the Christian Jesus. The Islamic Jesus, the real Islamic Jesus, not the Wahhabist Jesus, not the reformist Islamic Jesus. The real Islamic Jesus confirms what we know to be true of the historical and the archetypal. So we now have possession of the keys of civilization. In other words, the very principles that have run the world for countless thousands of years under our forefathers and ancestors. We now, through knowledge of the real Islamic Jesus, we now have those keys in our possession once again. Praise Allah for the Prophet Noble Jihad.
And look, let me say this again, because maybe somebody haven't watched our last build on Jesus. We understand that the letter J didn't exist. We refer to Jesus because that's what we know it as, or him as, in this era of time.
Yeah. First of all, the logic. Let me say this, brother. Let me add to that. The logic, or the statement of, well, there was no real Jesus because
that's crazy.
Because there was no J in the Aramaic language. First of all, one doesn't even go with the other. Like, stop it. You know what I'm saying? There's no P in the word door unless you're speaking to a Spanish speaker. So come on, man. We don't argue that.
Yes.
It's like, come on. The Spanish speaker is going to call that puerta. So to him, there is a P in it. You see what I'm saying? We ain't going to say, well, there's no puerta because it's actually D-O-O-R. Come on. We know better. We know better.
And this is one thing I want to begin to push hard. And I'm telling you, I'm going to push it hard.
Yes, sir.
We have to stop denying our forefathers.
Thank you.
We have to stop denying our people just because they have corrupted. The same way when I started the show and I say they defiled the flag by the things that they did under, that doesn't take the principle away from what it truly stands for and what our people died for, to keep it risen, to keep it flying. That doesn't change that. Now, the Jesus story, yes, people took it, manipulated and twisted it, but you cannot tell me that if you get a red letter Bible If you get
Right.
a red letter Bible, you cannot show me where Jesus is soft. You cannot show me where Jesus is a sellout. You cannot show me where Jesus was a punk.
Right.
A red letter Bible is only the things that Jesus spoke in red. You cannot show me that.
Right.
Europeans don't act like this, brother. We got to stop. We have to stop denying our foreparents just because this European that flipped the story on us.
There you go.
You know, we should big up our foreparents. Yeah, we know you played with it, but that's my foreparents. He came before me, and this is why I'm here.
That's right. That's right. If you stole my coat, and then want to put a patch on it here and a marker on it there to make it look like yours, man, what am I? And I look like an idiot to go, well, you know what? I'm just going to buy a new coat because that's not mine.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
That's what kills me.
I'm going to go get mine. I'm saying take them patches off of it. This is mine. I want it back the way you took it.
That's right.
There you go.
Why are we going to let somebody get away with robbing us of our foreparents that gave us the way to go?
Ain't that something?
He paved the way. He set the tone. He was a pattern for us to go. And we're going to let somebody give us the fake version. And then we say, I don't want none of that.
And throw the baby out with the bathwater and throw our brother to the wolves in the process. But here's what's even bigger. Like I said before, the European ideal of our brother and his story rules the world, like it or not.
Yes.
Like it or not.
And
so, you know what? Let's just say, for argument's sake, even though we know better, let's just say for argument's sake, that the whole story of Jesus is fake. It still runs the world, man, so you can't get around it. You might as well take it back. You might as well take it back.
And guess what's up next, though? Guess what's up next? Right behind it is the Muhammad story.
Yes, sir.
It's the Prophet Muhammad story. Because I'm telling you now, the more that time goes by, you start to see Muslims slipping away and having negotiations with their Islamic principles, tradition, and culture.
Right.
They're slipping away. And so guess what's going to happen in the next 200, 300 years? We'll be having this conversation about Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
We'll be having the same conversation. People will be denying Muhammad.
That's right. People already are. That's funny. They already are. They're already saying that, oh, he wasn't real.
There it is. There it is. So with that, family, we're going to check out. We had a nice build. I didn't mean to go this long, but when my brother Sharif come in, man, we just can talk, man. This is a nice build. And next week, we're going to have a lineup program. We're going to stick to the script. Or we might even verge off a little bit. Who knows? Yes, but I'm glad that you are in the chat room. I'm glad that you showed up. I'm glad that you enjoy it. And it shows that you enjoy it because I didn't see anybody coming sideways. And for the last two shows, I really don't. I know it was one or two in the last show, but now we getting to the point where we're going to build something that is tangible. As my brother Sharif said in the debate, when the rubber meets the road.
Exactly.
We got something on the ground when the rubber meets the road. And I like to add to that. Because I'm a builder. When the rubber meets the road, and the mortar hit the brick, we build it. We build With that, I'm going to say Islam. I'm hungry, family. I'm hungry. I'm going to eat my roti. I got to be roti, family. Yeah. Just me and my roti, and I'm going to chill out and have a good night, and I want y'all to have a good night, too. So, peace, family. And I'm going to play one song or two songs, and then I'm going to look at the chat room. Y'all tell me why this song played, what y'all think about this platform, what y'all think about how we did it tonight, and we're gonna go in more. But on Wednesdays, our motivation on Wednesday is to talk about regular stuff. You know what I mean? Our motivation on Wednesday is to talk about things we see every day. Because we always see the Moors with the feds on. They, Allah this, Islam that, and da-da-da. Islam is everything. It's a way of life. But how do we make it relevant as it relates to the things that's going on in the world? And that's what this Wednesday show is about. We want to make it relevant. Now, this was only a test. This was the test of Moorish world. You know what I mean? This was just the test. And guess what we not doing? Guess what we not doing? I'm gonna show you what we not doing. We ain't hotepping.
Hotepping, misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, you screaming black power, but what the hell is the progression?
Yeah. I like it. I got a new song for y'all next week. I got a new release next week. Next week. Yeah.
Hotepping,
but like your brain, you fake. You keep screaming black power, but you ain't busting the crate. Silly said he be yelling, he do a whole lot of cussing. He be talking all loud, but ain't saying nothing until you bang on the beat, but he don't bang in the streets. Yeah, he bang on the mic, charge you for a seat. Let's beat what they say and then beat by they roll. Shaka put on his makeup and said it by his nose. So you gotta be kidding me talking about my bed. Shaka rocking that Remy and said he a cokehead. I call him Remy and Coke. I mean, them boys are a joke. I know they was after me and I be going for broke. Oh yeah, I talk with aggression, prefer to stick to the lesson. They be talking about more, but they be only them weapons. I know they only hotepping. Yeah, they fake with the lessons. They be talking about more, but where the hell is the progression? Hotepping, misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, they screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? We going up. Hotepping, yeah, they fake with the lessons. Yeah, they screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Hotepping, misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, they screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Hotepping. Yeah, they screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Side netter, you know better than to test no more. I think I told you before, and look what happened to your boy. And now you got this Maybelline queen up on my screen. You grew a mustache, so you know what that means. Low self-esteem and got something to prove. That's right, I love Jesus, I got nothing to lose. I put my life on the line, and I walk my cross. That Jesus said I come to love, walk like a boss. Yeah, he flip over tables, and I ride through the streets on the back of an ass because your clowns are weak. Yeah, you managed to reach. You should be mad at your teacher. You always a gimmick, and he still couldn't reach you. My papa, he was born in the state of NC. I was born in MD. You know where to reach me. You know where to reach me. See without wearing a vest because you talk that mess. We not enlightened or impressed. Hotepping, misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, you screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Hotepping, misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, you screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Hotepping. Yeah. Hotepping. Hotepping, misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, you screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Hotepping. You know, back in the day they had this joint, they used to call it like walk like an Egyptian. These clowns today, they do this joke called hotepping. That means they get this knowledge, they get this information, and then they start stepping to people as if they got some supreme knowledge, you know what I'm saying? That's just hotepping. They faking, man. I ain't with that. We go like, hotepping, misrepresenting the lesson. Yeah, you screaming that power, but where the hell is the progression? Hotepping, misrepresenting the lesson. Keep screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Hotepping, shaka eye. Hotepping. Someone said that's a father. House of Confidence, hotepping, misrepresenting the lessons. Hotepping. Yo, you know who you are if you hotepping. You know, you get this little information and want to step everybody. Like, get out of here with that, man. Moors. It's a new day for the Moors. Yeah. We about to rain on all y'all. Let's keep it going. Let me know about this up. Hotepping, misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, they screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Hotepping, misrepresenting the lessons. Yeah, they screaming black power, but where the hell is the progression? Where the hell is the progression? All right, where that? Where the hell is the progression? Where the hell is the progression? Peace, family. I'm hungry. I got to go. I ain't got to go home, but I'm getting the